Dear friends, dear friends, hello to everyone. So today let's try to cover a very interesting topic. I have heard probably a year ago by the going by the name Ikigai, and there's a lot of talk as to the benefits of it. There was a lot of artworks flying around WhatsApp asking what's your Ikigai, and the circles that were used in Ikigai to picturize the various aspects and the framework of Ikigai. It caught my interest but did not had the time, and went ahead to check what's it is about and what I can gain from it. However, a recent Toastmaster session gave me the opportunity to pick up this topic and try to dwell in more as to what does this concept has to offer, and is there some gain in it for me and for everyone. So try to dwell in it. This presentation is a summary of the same. It was helpful to me. I more or less found my Ikigai. I'll try to share it towards the end. You probably will also benefit by going through this. So without losing any further time, let's start with the understanding of the term Ikigai. So let's begin with the first thing, definition. The shortest definition as shared as the first meaning of Ikigai is reason for being. At the face value, the reason for being may not be very comfortable, easy to understand for everyone. To keep it something easy to all, I tried to try to figure out what is a more simple, common man's definition of it. A common man's definition of Ikigai is the thing that gets you up in the morning. This is something I think we all can relate to. So you would recall from your past, childhood, teenage, college, so on, there will be definitely few moments, few days where you hardly slept, or there was no need for an alarm. You just jumped out of the bed in anticipation of the next day. It could be a big day for someone. It could be a first job. It could be you meeting your college friend, or it could be a day where you are starting to learn more about a hobby that you had. Usually this happens on the days when you are excited about it all from within. So the easiest way to relate or tell to anyone what is the meaning of Ikigai would be the thing that gets you jump out of bed and look forward to the day. So that's the shortest and most easy to relate definition. Now let's try to get the pronunciation right. It is very important that the pronunciation is right, because it's not a term that we use in our day-to-day language. The right way of pronunciating Ikigai is ee-kee-guy. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, or I'll try to share it also in the comment, it's pronounced ee-kee-guy, ee-kee-guy. So that's the definition. Try once from your end again as you watch the video, it helps. Ee-kee-guy. So that's the way you pronounce the term. So we will move forward. We'll try to cover two key aspects. One, the framework, and two, a more subjective way of looking at Ikigai. The framework appeals to majority of the people, so we will begin with the framework. Before the framework, where did it originate? This term originated from a small islands. I think it's a 24 island location called Okinawa. So Okinawa is the why did Okinawa became famous? Okinawa became famous for one particular thing. The world's largest number of elderly above 100 years, that means who survived 100 years plus, are concentrated in this location. So I'm sure there is a reason why the majority of the 100 plus year olds are living in this location. So if we go by the statistics, you will see that Japan has 67,825 people in total. That is 48 people for every 1 lakh population, which is the highest. And even in terms of the number of people who are of the plus 100 is also they have the highest. And in terms of even the density, Portugal has somewhere 2,414, and per lakh it is at 38.9, which keeps it up above Spain, which nevertheless has 17,423. So that way Many could attribute that their lifestyle, what they eat, and also practicing Ikigai is a secret for their succeeding to cross the age of 100 years. So so if you are interested, you should definitely add this to your bucket list of the locations to visit if there you are a traveler. And I try to get some more detail about the location. A pictorial like this definitely gives you more confidence that yes, this is possible for someone to probably live here 100 plus year, assuming the rest of the factors also fall in place. So I think the ones with the travel bug definitely would love to add this location as a must see in their near future. So Ikigai is what day after day and year after year each of us most essentially lives for. You can call it purpose. If you try to figure it out, some have found it, some are yet to find it, but the ones who found their purpose are always lucky, because when you have identified your purpose, there's no looking back. The only thing that will probably stop you is the financials. Rest, everything will be in place, because purpose is so personal to each one that they would do anything to pursue their purpose. Okay. So now let's go to the structure of the Ikigai, and we'll start with the most important circle, that is what you love. I think most of us will identify this. First would be your mother. Once you are born, obviously the child feels the closest and falls in love with his mother first. So that's your first love, and then you continue to try to gradually identify and relate with what else you love. Now over to the second circle. The second circle is all about what you are good at. Once you start schooling, you will start seeing you are good at certain things, math, social, science, or some things you are not. So you will start coming down the funnel of what are the things that you can do well. Now this need not be what you love, because it's the what you are good at many a times also relates with, as a human being, you have certain traits and qualities within you that helps you to be good at certain things, and at the same time not so good at something. Some of the things you can love doing, but probably not yet good at doing those. So now over to the third circle. The third circle is very important, and for that's where most of us get held up. It is as you complete your schooling, get into college, you start the rat race, which is you start becoming the part of the rat race, which is what can I be paid for? Because you start looking around what money can get you, some essentials, some wants, and some needs. So this is where one would try to get the endorsement from the society that they are accomplished. Now what is the definition, most simplest definition of accomplishment in the society? He earns, and he earns more, he earns most. So there's no limit to this. So what you can be paid for, yes, it is important, because end of the day you have to earn a livelihood. So that's where one starts identifying what they can be paid for after looking at what's available in the market, what gets paid less, what gets paid more, because the daily laborer or a construction worker gets paid less based upon today's trends, and at the same time someone who becomes a pilot tends to earn more. So these all will drive individual towards choosing what they want to do and eventually get paid. Now the fourth circle is what exactly does the world needs. Now what the world needs, certain things were constant over ages, and certain things kept changing. So if you are a pottery person, 100 years ago there was a need, there was a demand, but now if you want to pursue pottery, it probably is just for art or is just for hobby. So the world's needs kept changing, and one essentially needs to know what the world needs. So with that we complete the 4 circles, and we have another 4 major overlaps and another 4 3-circle overlaps as well. Now we will start covering them as well. The first one is passion. Now where does when you get to do what you love and what you are good at, so you are passionate about pursuing that activity. This may not have much to do with getting paid, nor if the world needs it. So the same thing applies for all the rest of the four. So the second one is profession. This is where most of us seamlessly want to fit in and spend a good amount of phase of our lives, which is what you are good at. So if you are able to choose, connect that with which of those what you are good at is getting paid well in the market. So you quickly can fill in that position and make it your profession, and then you are comfortable, at least from a societal standing and from a financial point of view, and to an extent you are happy also because you are doing what you are good at and you are getting good feedback for it. Now the next one is mission. Now if you get to work on something what the world needs and also what you love, then it becomes your mission. Now this hits most of them around the phase of 35-40, because once they start earning and they hit a plateau of that they are not enjoying it and they are not able to enjoy it, unlike others who continue to, then they try to look at two things particularly. What did they love right from the beginning of their life? And also they get to be aware, because they read news, you get exposed to interaction, conversations, a lot more information, and eventually you'll find that the world needs certain things and you also love doing that activity. It could be starting a school which runs for earning. At the same time, the school also majorly runs for as a charity organization to educate the poor. Then you have a mission to educate 1 million. Let's just take as an example. And the fourth one, vocation. Vocation is what you can pick it up as probably apart from your profession. Many people pursue a second employment, you may want to call it as an employment or not, but you tend to get paid, and the world also has a requirement. Let's say the world has a requirement for handmade jewelry and or a handmade artworks. So then you see that you can generate that in small volumes. It gives you income. There is a demand for it in the market. Or it could be a hobby. Teach India was a campaign which ran in India, where someone could be working as a part of a profession, but at the same time they were doing this as a vocation to generate some income. In some cases it is purely from a vocation point of view, it also generates income, but for some they will also be comfortable working without a pay, because the satisfaction that comes along with it is their pay. So with this we covered another 4 overlaps. In all these 4 overlaps you will see that they all have 2 major circles covered. So with that we have 8 possibilities covered. Now we have another 4 which are the smallest ones, where you have 3 circle overlaps, and the central one which is the sweet spot, that's the Ikigai. So passion, vocation, profession, mission. Now the other 4 being what you can see overlap with a major overlap of love, one with the major overlap of what you are good at, one with the major overlap of serving what the world needs, and the final one with the major overlap or you are getting paid primarily for it. And the last, the sweet spot we all wish to reach, is the Ikigai. So let's take an example as we make a progress from here as to is there someone who's a good example of achieving Ikigai? Yes, there is one example based on a documentary I have seen recently which stands out as a striking, strong example. We'll come to that. Before that, let's see how can I benefit from this structure. So I would suggest to take a printout of this and put it on a wall in your room and look at it once at least every weekend at the beginning of the day. I strongly feel that it can give you that required internal churn or a introspection to make progress in this journey. Not to find your Ikigai or not to stick to the framework. It helps you identify your purpose of life, and thereafter there wouldn't be any looking back, and probably you don't even need this poster. So there are few questions that you can ask. Do I love what I do daily? Work, at home, otherwise? So if you are able to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, you will start seeing things more clear. If you love doing that, you will continue doing that. If not, you will think, what else can I do that I would love but serves several other purposes of my existence? Now, have you ever chanced upon mapping the world needs to my abilities? This mostly doesn't happen, because most of them stop at the stage of what you can be paid for, because the salary is comfortable, you start family, children, responsibilities, and most pause at this circle after starting the circle of love, good at, and coming till paid for. So try this. You might be the next entrepreneur who would serve the world needs and make money, love doing it, and you are also good at doing it. So this is why where you will see entrepreneurs not in many numbers, probably because not all does this activity. Then what's my mission in life? It's a very important. The more you often you ask yourself this question, you will have an answer. Don't ask the question at your own peril. You will probably never know it. And can I have my passion pay for my pension? This is a sweet line I could identify when I was thinking from all aspects: financial, personal, and from a heart, from practicality point of view. If your passion can pay for your pension, you are set for a great run of the rest of your life. So now let's look at now question now before we jump next. So found my Ikigai. If you have by now found your Ikigai, that's great. You should continue to pursue it, validate it that it is your Ikigai, and then life is good. So now let's look at this gentleman who has achieved the excellence in running. You can see as in this picture, 9.58 seconds. I think that's the world record by Usain Bolt. So I was watching his documentary and I could realize that this guy is the living example of Ikigai. He got to do what he loved to do. He excelled at it. He faced so many challenges during the later half of his career. He overcame the criticism and doubts from the majority of the population and the running other countrymen, and he silenced his critics in the last Olympics with winning, I think, once again all the major medals that he participated in. I think it was 100 meters, 200 meters, and also the relay run. So you can take anyone you see as an example, or you can go through the documentary. I would strongly recommend it. Probably will help you in your journey of Ikigai, finding your own Ikigai. So now let's try to quickly run through the 4 major questions. This is just to get a little bit into the skin of the game, that is from the major 4 circles point of view. What do you love doing? Building, because kids make castles in the sand on the beaches. Playing, you can see children always longing to play all day. Drawing, helping, painting art, problem solving, cooking, cycling, or the list can be very long. So for the lack of time, we'll jump to the next. What are you good at? Start paying attention to it. Look backward. Look at your current moment. I'm sure you'll have a lot of answers. Teaching, time management, task implementation, cooking. Someone can be a great chef to these days. Cooking has the demand for cooks has multiplied with leaps and bounds. Math, Rubik's solving. My son can solve the Rubik's in under 2 minutes. I honestly submit I cannot solve it. The easiest thing I find it is take the stickers, peel them out, and put them in the right order. That's not to be done. Then investigations, problem solving, and the list can go on and on and on. Make your own list. Then what can you be paid for? There's several things that you can be paid for. Definitely not the only one what you are currently doing. And if you're a student, what you're planning to do. So keep your options open. It'll help you to get closer to your Ikigai. Teaching math, deliveries, event management, party emceeing. Many stray away from it, but there are some who are made for it. Speaking, definitely there's a huge demand for speakers. Bookkeeping, entertainment, and the list can go on and on. Now, what does the world need? That has been gradually changing over the years. Convenience. So science has helped us to make everything convenient, get everything done without getting out of the bed. Drinking water is something still remains a challenge. Roads, we all know what wonders can happen when roads are in place. Fresh air, can't emphasize it more after the Delhi pollution challenges and so on. Transportation, smiles. It's very, very important that we can spread smiles. Yes, for the science sake, we need AI, artificial intelligence scientists. Unity, this is something that the world has been working upon for a long time. And education, yes, it can be a catalyst for several good things. Food, yes, the food world definitely needs more food, and probably that a day when no one goes to sleep hungry. And love, yes, that can do wonders, and definitely peace is something on top of the agenda for the world, and the list goes on. So let's try to quickly cover the 4 prominent overlaps. The prominent overlaps, we already covered them in the while ago when we covered the major circles. So I'll just quickly run through to see throw a little more light on it. Passion is something you love it, so you are in it for passion. In fact, you are damn good at as well. That's why this overlap has been called as passion. The question is sometimes crops up is who's paying for it. So you need to figure out, is there a scope for getting paid? Don't just give up because there are not many who's getting paid for it. You can be the best and you can get paid for it. And does the world even need it? Pay attention. If the world needs it, it will be a better thing. And else keep looking at what other options you have in this same space. The world's best typist today probably does not have a demand. In the past, probably 100 years ago, there was. Pen making definitely is a much narrowed niche. Now, I'm not saying that the pen making does not earn you a revenue, but you have to be damn good at it. And if you are, please pursue it. And shoemaking, I'm sure that has better prospects than pen making, but definitely not at a scale what it used to have 100 years ago. Now, looking at the profession, the job is paying well. So this is a sweet spot, a happy space for most to settle down in, which shouldn't be the case for long. You are damn good at this work and your boss would be happy. Do I have to love my work? Is sometimes people will. They keep their work separate from their personal life, and they manage to, because it's giving them good income and a status in the society and rest of the things that follow, which is house, car, and so on. And sorry for the spelling mistake here. The boss is happy, and does it need to serve the world needs? Some don't care as long as it is paying well. They are okay with it. And data scientist definitely is something that today is much sought after than what it was 100 years ago. And the analytics wizard, if you are one, the world is after you. Then coming to the next one, which is I create impact. If your world needs it, and you can also get paid for it, it's a beautiful thing, because you are serving a world need. And if you are able to feel proud about it, adequately proud about it, trust me, you'll be very happy doing it, because you probably are not doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for the world. I drive Uber after hours, and the onset years, definitely this was a positive. I can't comment at this point in time. I keep upgrading to secure good pay. So this is how people continue to, mostly the tech employees continue to upgrade themselves so they can secure their good pay. You can see it's Java yesterday, it is .NET after, now today it is artificial intelligence, and so on. They keep studying. And I won national medal in a 100 meters run, but probably it may not get you a monthly salary. So that's a challenge that you will probably have to continue to have it as a hobby, or probably train someone in their runs on weekends. There's always a solution for every problem, you see. I love cooking. Yes, this can be your side show. You can continue to still do it, and the world definitely needs great cooks. And if you can create niche, you can actually get paid very well indeed. You see the Michelin star chefs. Now the social cause crusaders mostly belong to this place, and they're happy in that space. The last one is the mission. You love doing it, the world needs it. What more can you need? You are happy from within because you love doing it, the world needs it. You feel honored that everyone is applauding that you are doing something that the world needs. So I love helping the homeless get a shelter. It's a beautiful thing, gives so much of satisfaction and contentment for the ones who get involved. So that's why most of them get involved in their church, and the community appreciates it a lot. So, but the question would be, oops, have no savings, risk fund, to pay attention to it, do something about it, or sometimes when you go all in into it, doors open for your savings, and something would take care of you. I have a degree in hospitality and cooking. May not outright be there, but yes, the dots can be connected there. Again, as we spoke in the previous slide, the world definitely needs great cooks, and if you can create a profile, find a profile in which you are able to serve the world need, get a decent pay so that it takes care of your financial needs, so you definitely can pursue your mission. Social cause crusaders again here are a happy lot being where they are, even though they may make just enough money to eke out a living. So now let's quickly cover the 3-in-1s. The 3-in-1s, starting with, I would start with the first one on top right, which is the overlap where you have what you love as central to it, and you also have the world needs and what you are good at. So it gives you delight and fullness, but as the missing bigger circle here is what you get paid for. So you need to figure out, can it generate enough wealth, income, that I can continue to do this and continue to be in this space. One is not asked to move out for want of money. One is only needs to figure out how you can make the money. Moving anti-clockwise, the next one is satisfaction. So here you are in the space where the big circle is what you're good at. You are good at, so you continue, you are the best at that particular aspect. The only thing miss out here is right on the opposite side, which is the what the world needs. The world may not need it. You love doing it, you are good at it, and you are getting paid for it. So continue to look at how directly, indirectly, what you are doing can serve the purpose of the world needs. So let's say I am extremely successful at what I am doing right now, and I can go participate and offer financial assistance to serve the need, certain of the world needs. Maybe that's where how you can make yourself more happy. Now going to the next one, which is the space where you have pay as the big thing. So you are getting well paid. So you are definitely happy in the beginning. So you're comfortable, but the feeling of emptiness hurts you, because the prominent miss out is you probably are not loving what you are doing. So this can be solved by keeping aside a certain amount of time on a daily basis to pursue what you love. It may not generate income, but if you do that, it gives you that feeling of what you are missing, so you can continue to do this what you are doing well to get paid for, and you are also good at it, and the world also benefits from it. Now the last one is the one where your measure is serving, offering, or is what the world needs. Fantastic, you are living for the world. And however, the only missing out is you're not excellent at it, you're happy doing it, you love doing it, you're getting paid for it, but you can gradually work with help from the experts, that you can gradually move into the central spot. Now in all these four what we discussed, and then the other four what we discussed overlaps, and in the major circles, the goal is to gradually move towards the center, that is Ikigai. And it is possible if you know where you are, and you can take the steps to move towards the center. Now that is where I believe the structure, having as a big poster and writing with a pen and on the paper as to where you are today, where you are after 3 months, after a quarterly review, definitely can help you to recreate this chart and then decide your next steps, your journey. So with that, we have literally covered 4 big circles, 2 overlaps, and another 4 of the inside overlap. So we have 12 possibilities, the last one being the most beautiful possibility, which is Ikigai. So there are 13 possibilities where you can fit in at the beginning of your journey. So now let's look at the whole concept from a Ikigai point of view, that is a subjective way of looking at it without putting structure. Sometimes, though on paper it may not so, but the beauty of human life is that we experience many things from within without a structure also, because it builds over a period of time. So we paid enough attention to the structure. Now let's pay from a subjective point of view in just plain words. So Ikigai is a lifestyle that strives to balance the spiritual with the practical. Isn't it a beautiful combination? We all get mostly stuck with the practical part and miss out on the spiritual journey. Ask yourself, are you spiritual in any way, in any aspect, in any angle? So bring that element, probably you can do wonders. And Ikigai is about finding joy, that's what we all want, fulfillment, and the most important, a definitive balance in the daily routine of life. We all would appreciate it when we have that balance in a daily routine of life. So it is all too easy to fall victim to siloed thinking, which is happening every day with so many people, that our job, family, passion, desires are all separate and unrelated. No, they are not individual buckets, as you just saw in the overlapping circles. They all correlate in a big way or a small way, a little more, a little less. The fundamental truth of Ikigai is that nothing is siloed. Everything is connected. So let's take an example. Steve Jobs is a fantastic example of this idea. It's easy to make mistake that Jobs as a titan of technology, because that's what it comes out prominently, that he's a great at tech. But what most do not know is Jobs was a lover of fine craftsmanship, first and foremost. See, that's from within the gentleman. That was not published, that was not communicated, so logically we don't know. But his excellence actually originated from there. Whether it was a matter of collecting handmade Japanese teacups or obsessing over design details of various products, which he was known for, he wrapped himself in his passion for finely made items. The same thing is what he did when the iPhone was created. He never settled for anything less than the best, what he felt at that moment of time. So the byproduct, Apple and Pixar, were merely his chosen medium of expression. They were not his end goal. They was never, after creating a great brand called Apple or a Pixar, he allowed his passion to flow. They ended in two brands, which is Apple and Pixar, and today they both are legends in their own way. There's a link below which you can read through further as a useful thing. I'll share it in the comments as well. So with that said, let's try to quickly see some more pointers that can help us figure out our Ikigai. The 10 rules definitely help a lot. They come from the book. I'll share the book name at the end. 1. Stay active, don't retire. See, retirement is not at 66. Some choose to retire even at 35 in their mind. So the objective is every day be active. Keep yourself physically, mentally active. Do not retire. Then you will progress. And if you make progress on a daily basis, you definitely are ahead of several others, and you definitely will reach your best. Take it slow. Yes, there is a rush for achievement on a daily basis, but where all possible, pause, let it flow slowly, pay attention. It can be very fruitful. Don't fill your stomach. Leaving some space helps you hungry, and also physically helps your health, and at the same time it doesn't weaken your thinking. A full stomach is definitely gonna not help you to be the sharpest of your thinking, because the activity is more in the action is more in your stomach. Surround yourself with good friends. As often it says, you are some average of the people around you and people whom you keep company with. Keep accumulating great friends and always spend time with them. In no definitive, or it wouldn't come in like with a I invested 1 hour so I got something back from my good friend. No, it shapes you from within. So please always have great friends, and at the same time spend good time with the friends. It helps you becoming a better human being. Get in shape for your next birthday. So if you keep striving for this, for every next birthday you get better and better and better. Wouldn't you be at the best you can? That's the simple objective here. Smile. It doesn't cost you anything. Keep smiling as many times. To the doorman, to the anyone passing by, to the guy who's cleaning when you're walking by. It can be anyone, everyone, the bus driver, everyone. Please try to smile, because it makes the world a better and positive place. Reconnect with nature. Some relate, some don't relate, but it's strongly recommend. Go out, spend some time, maybe on a weekend, go for a long walk, go to the woods. So when you connect with nature, that's where we came from. You will start seeing things getting better. I cannot say how much, how fast, but it definitely will get better, because nature is from where we have come. We should start spending more time back in nature. Give thanks as often. Someone opened the door for you, please say a thank. So you paid and bought something, still say thanks. Had the shop not been there at that corner, wouldn't you be having to go travel farther to buy it? One would know when they are on a long journey away and they find a petrol bunk when they're running almost out of fuel. Just don't wait for those moments. Say thanks at every possible opportunity. Live in the moment. We all talk a lot about mindfulness. If you pay close attention to what's happening with you at that moment, you will excel at that activity. You'll get more out of that activity. And finally, keep pursuing, and once you find, follow your Ikigai, and you will be a much happier human being, and very likely a better one as well. So with that, I'll share 3 books which I found on Amazon, which seems to be the best books to read. Starting from the left, the book I think from where the artwork of most of the presentation has come from, I would strongly recommend. I'm planning to read it. I'm yet to, but this amount of investment itself has inspired me to read the book, and maybe start practicing it, start using it more to gain from it. Then the other two books are also another options that are available. And again, ask yourself every day, is there something that I can start having in my life that will make me jump out of bed with excitement? If you can get that one thing to do every day that will help you jump out of bed in excitement, everything else also becomes a beneficiary of family, friends, work, and so on and so forth. So with that, we come to the last slide. This gentleman, Usain Bolt, has found his Ikigai. Once again, I would strongly recommend to watch his documentary. It will help you in your journey of identifying your Ikigai. Now it is the turn of ours to find our Ikigai. I shared in the beginning that I would try to share I found as my Ikigai. I started asking this question, what's my Ikigai, when I started working on this presentation. In the last, at least for the time being, I could find my Ikigai seems to be, which I will have to go through the validation, and I'm confident that it is my Ikigai, is to serve. So I feel the joy when I am able to serve many more around me in whatever way I can. It could be helping a friend get a job, it could be helping a kid who's in immediate need of funds for an operation. Keto is one channel. I would strongly recommend you also to check it out. So there are many ways you can serve the community around you. To me, to serve seems to be my Ikigai, at least for the time being. All the best if you have already found your Ikigai, or I hope this presentation has helped you find your Ikigai, and strongly recommended those two posters that we covered in the middle, that if you can keep a copy on your wall and keep looking at them every weekend, I am very positive and sure that you will find your Ikigai. And even if you gets late in finding your Ikigai, every passing week you will be a better human being and a happier person, because subconsciously you will start moving towards your betterment. So all the best for your Ikigai, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Please feel free to share your feedback in the comment section, and if any questions as well, please drop in. I'll be glad to answer. And so bye for now till we come back with some other interesting presentation. Good day.